Hello, fellow educators. Welcome to the 12th episode of Teacher's Tent, a place to regain your strength after a long day, week, or maybe semester this 2023. I'm your host, Steve G. Thanks for your feedback on last week's episode. Many educators shared they felt understood, as spring fever has been getting everywhere apparently. This week I have picked a response from Miss D, a Spanish high school teacher from New Canaan, Connecticut. She agrees that switching up routines works very well with her high schoolers. She sometimes takes her kids out to work, but she's intentional in being specific regarding her goals for them so the kids don't end up not getting any work done. She humorously adds that spring fever, when combined with another disease she faces, senioritis, can be extremely difficult. Ms. D expresses it can be hard to teach a bunch of students who are already in college and have mentally checked out. Thank you, Ms. D, for your most helpful contribution. Today we'll focus on a topic that is so important for us educators in every place. This subject pops up suddenly in front of us, usually as a school year is coming to an end: a job offer for the following year. With a high teacher shortage currently in the US, schools and districts are desperate to keep their staff, as well as to attract new teachers. My own school district is offering a very attractive bonus just to stay on another year, and so are other districts in the state. Coming across a job offer is something that might come up to you, so should you take the job? This decision is very personal, of course, but here at Teacher Stand, we would like to ponder over a few elements that might help you decide better. We'll discuss dissatisfaction in the first 2 points, the attractiveness of the new position in points 3 and 4, and finally, inertia. Wait, inertia? What does physics have to do with my job decision? Well, quite a bit, as you'll hear in a minute. In this episode, as usual, I'll share my 5 things which I believe will help us see more clearly before deciding to switch jobs, so let us hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Please keep sharing your feedback after listening, either through comments on Instagram or emails, in things you think would help better decide whether to accept a job offer or not. So, let's talk about the job at another school, district, state, or in my case, country. We will start by discussing dissatisfaction, we said. The first step we'll take is analyzing the discontent I'm currently feeling at my job. Am I feeling unhappy with my job, or is it a personal dissatisfaction? A lot of times it is hard to tell, but getting clarity on this will help us avoid seeking for new job horizons when we're really going through something personal that will necessarily follow us wherever we go. Having an honest conversation with ourselves, talking to our loved ones, and listening to them, and seeking professional help if needed, will go a long way in elucidating this complex matter. Once we have decided I am experiencing job dissatisfaction, we'll take our second step. Am I really discontent with my job? And am I anxious to get a different one? Or are things just getting difficult this week? Every job has seasons that are very unattractive. For us teachers, the weeks prior to the state test, for example, are probably those that most teachers would point out as the least desirable and most stressful of the year. So, to make a fair assessment, consider if you dislike your school by looking at the good seasons. Now, if you still dislike it, then you're clearly experiencing job dissatisfaction. Now that you've gone through the first 2 steps, we need to decide what is attractive about the new job. A third useful component is considering what makes the new school more attractive than my current one. Also, is the person who told me about the opening reliable and reasonably objective? Let's remember that neighbor's lawn always seems to look greener from our side of the fence. So ask yourself honestly, what exactly is more attractive to me about this other school or district? Make a list, if necessary, of all the attractive features this other job seems to possess. Once you have decided it is definitely attractive, we need to move on to step 4. Are there any hidden costs to taking this more attractive position? We call them hidden because they can't be noticed at first glance. So, we don't want to make a decision without considering as many as possible of all costs involved, of course. For example, is the commute going to be the same? Are the class sizes the same at the new school? Will the move involve changing grade levels? Is there a way to know how the culture at the new institution works? Do I know someone there, again, reliable, who might help me out in answering these questions? Are there different rules in the new district, or state, or country? When I accepted a job in the US 16 years ago, there were many costs I knew about, but there were a few that I only sadly discovered once I had moved here. Our final fifth valuable element has to do with physics. Maybe you have received a job offer but do not even consider it. Thinking about it just makes you anxious. You just want the year to be over to be able to get some rest. I get you. You're tired. But let me ask you, are you saying no to it because of inertia? This principle basically states that if a body is at rest, it will remain at rest unless it is acted upon by a force. Alternatively, if a body is moving at a constant speed in a straight line, it will keep moving in a straight line unless acted upon by a force. In other words, in plain English, we usually tend to keep doing what we are doing. This fifth step suggests that I closely look and analyze to decide whether I am rejecting the job offer just because I want to keep doing what I've always done, or I'm too tired to even think about it, or because I have carefully gone through the previous 4 steps and concluded that the school I'm at right now is just the best for me. In conclusion, deciding about a job offer is a huge decision and not always easy. However, asking these questions in your process might help. Namely, am I experiencing personal dissatisfaction? Do I have job dissatisfaction? What's attractive about the new job? Have I considered the hidden costs of the new position? Am I rejecting the offer only because of inertia? These are the top 5 on my list that we have covered in today's episode. I have been offered a job at another school. Should I take it? I would love to hear what suggestions would make your top 5 list. Feel free to email me this or other comments to steve@teachers10.com. Again, that's steve@teachers10.com. Or you can follow Teachers Tent on Instagram. That's Teachers Tent, altogether, lowercase. In the meantime, join us next week for our podcast's 13th episode. How can I score high on my evaluation? This is a time of the year when most of us teachers will receive an assessment of our annual performance. As more districts move towards tying pay to evaluation, many educators wonder how they can improve this important score. We will share some hints to consider that might help you obtain a better evaluation. So, please let me know in advance any thoughts and tips you might have on this important topic. And if you're enjoying the show, please don't forget to let your colleagues and friends know about and bring them to Teachers Tent. We'll make room for them too. Have a great week.